Hi guys, it's Charlie here. If you're looking to protect your future with gold or silver, pick the region you're in and choose one of our trusted partners. Good morning. It's Tuesday, the 21st of April, 2026, and what an interesting time it is to be alive. If you're in the UK, you'll have seen that two members of Parliament, Lee Anderson, Zara Sultana, were both asked at separate times to leave the House because they'd called out Keir Starmer as a liar, which he was. But you're not allowed to say that. Politicians are allowed to lie. Let that sink in. They're allowed to lie, and you're not allowed to call them out. In fact, other MPs are not allowed to call them out. That's how corrupt the system has become, that they're allowed to lie, but you're not allowed to call them out. You're not allowed to hold them accountable. And then you had Rupert Lowe, who pointed out that Rachel Reeves was full of shit. She got up and walked out with embarrassment. This is the world that we're living in. This is what happens when you've got puppeteers in government, rather than the old-fashioned politicians that were in there to work for the people. How we've declined. And we've declined because we've allowed it to happen. We've done nothing about it. And it always becomes that much harder to deal with when you let something get out of hand. The British government, along with many governments around the world, have got out of hand. The EU got out of hand because we sat back and did nothing. To pull it back is going to take a lot more work than it would have done if we'd held them accountable at the time. Now we have a mountain to climb to remove these people from office, and not just remove them, but make sure they're not replaced by people who are even worse. We need to move away from this world of government and move back to a world of governance. So we vote on policy rather than party. I said this a few years ago, but the governments now are being exposed. They're being exposed for the world to see. It's time to wake up and hold these people accountable. Morning, Drew.
Good morning, Charlie. Good morning, everyone. Well, a wave of major fire and explosion incidents linked to fuel and energy infrastructure is drawing global attention again. In Romania, reports say another large explosion struck a fuel-related industrial site in the capital. Bucharest is growing concerns over repeated incidents across multiple countries. Meanwhile, in Myanmar, a huge blaze reportedly engulfed several fuel tankers at Port Homelin. These incidents follow separate energy-related fires reported in Russia and India within the last 24 hours. Don't tell me this isn't done on purpose, Charlie.
It's 100% done on purpose. It's done to fuel their narrative. Their narrative is there's a fuel shortage. The fuel shortage is because they are attacking the fuel reserves. The truth of the matter is, whether you like it or not, is God gave us everything we would ever need. God gave us crude oil. There's an abundance of it. They'll let you believe that, oh, there's a fuel shortage. That's them, the so-say global elite. And to justify and back up their story, they attack the refineries. They attack the storage facilities of fuel. The fact still remains that there is an abundance of natural resource because it's God-given. My next story is about Israel. And no longer do we have to be careful what we say about Israel because the exposure The light is exposing the darkness. There's nowhere to hide anymore. The world is waking up to 50 years of propaganda that's come out of Israel and called you an anti-Semite if you even considered criticizing the genocide that's going on in Gaza, the Holocaust that's going on in Gaza. Let that sink in. The world is waking up to your lies, your deceit. I'll call it what it is. It's pure evil. Anybody, I don't care who you are, what faith you are, to go out and take another person's life, man, woman, or child, that's not right in anybody's book. And you seem to think it is. You seem to think that just because they're not like you, they are cattle. They are the animals of the world. Anybody other than you. And the reason that I can say that is I used to be in a religious cult called the Exclusive Brethren, who thought exactly the same. They thought that they were the special ones and everybody else was less. And then you wake up to the truth that every single one on this earth was created by God. Then the realization that then we need to learn to respect one another, no matter where you're from, no matter what color you are, no matter what sex you are. Everybody has a right, a God-given right. And it's for those of us who are stronger to stand up for those who are weaker. This is a very important time. Drew.
Well, the financial collapse didn't happen yesterday, but I tell you what did. A US judge has ordered JP Morgan, Citibank, BNY Mellon, HSBC and Standard Chartered to hand over records in an Iran sanctions evasion case. Claims suggest millions in payments may have moved through a Turkish bank using major lenders as middlemen for US dollar transactions. It comes after the US Treasury warns banks worldwide it is escalating pressure on Iran.
Well, this is where God has been incredible in my life because of the simple fact that I've actually seen firsthand the movement of cash to buy fuel from Iran to circumnavigate the sanctions that were put on Iran. And this wasn't companies, this was governments. Governments who created these sanctions were paying for fuel from Iran because it was a lot cheaper. The other thing that makes the government totally and utterly corrupt is the fact that buying fuel from Iran for cash not only means that they're getting it cheaper, they're also avoiding the tax. The government is avoiding the tax on the fuel because of the simple fact they're paying cash. And they tell you, you can't do that. But they're doing it themselves. I've actually seen it firsthand. Millions and millions of euros leaving Europe to pay for oil in the Middle East in cash. I wasn't part of the delivery team of the oil, but I was part of the team that was delivering cash. Interesting, isn't it, hey? How they tell you you can't do it, but they do exactly what they tell you you can't do. That's called money laundering. That's also circumnavigating sanctions, which if you and I did it, we'd land up in prison. Maybe that's where they need to be. I'll leave you with that thought. On this Tuesday, the 21st of April, 2026. Have a good day. And as a little bonus, we launched yesterday Baby Charlie, well, Mini Charlie News. This is just for a bit of fun. This is to make you smile rather than frown at everything that's going on. Don't live in fear. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
If you want to know the truth, we put out the truth every single day, Monday to Friday. Saturdays and Sundays, we spend with our families, as we should do. So if you want to know the truth, come to charlieward.com and see real news daily. And join the Insiders Club, which is live on Wednesdays and Saturdays.